If I learned anything this year, is that if you want features and affordability, you can literally have both. And this board, the ND75, takes that concept and totally dives in face first. Here I have the ND75 in Mountain Blue. It feels like an electric blue or a cyan anodized case as opposed to like a baby blue. It's a pre-built 75 keyboard by a somewhat newer brand called Chilkey that features 3 different mounting styles, screwless ball and catch system, RGB, tri-mode, Windows, Mac, Android, and even Linux support, and an LCD screen for, get this, $89. So this caught me severely off guard once I started to review the specs and pricing for this board. It's functional and it actually sounds pretty darn good. I'll get into some sound tests pretty soon here, but I wanted to try out these 3 mounting styles and play with the LCD screen to really get a feel for what the ND75 has to offer. But if you like tech and mechanical keyboards, feel free to get a feel for what that subscribe button or like button feels like as well. For those still wondering, the board's name ND75 stands for Not Defined. And with all the different hats this affordable board wears, my guess is it kind of lives up to the name. This surprisingly is the first board since I've started in this hobby that doesn't include a switch and keycap puller. But it does provide a really cool USB-C cable, similar to the one that I saw in the Temple Key K25. It also comes in a dust bag, as if it was like a pair of Balenciagas, or maybe my fashion sense is just peeking in a little bit too much here. Other than that, it's a pre-build, so you pretty much are ready to go. So when I opened it up, I quickly realized what the warning label was referring to, because the LCD screen is the only thing holding on after removing the top case. The first mounting style out of the box are the split O-rings. It's flexible, but overall pretty stiff. A little surprising with the PC plate and the flex cuts included though. Swapping out to the gaskets, or actually they're called silica gel particles, mounting option. See, I always thought silica gels were those little dehydration packets, which is ironic since this board is kind of making my mouth water. These and the O-rings are similarly flexy, but I didn't notice much in difference in sound or feel. So number 3, there's also a top mount config, which is interesting enough. And the cable for the screen setup is actually most reasonable in this config. You basically just make sure it's attached like this with the blue sides both facing up and clip them in. So it's as to be expected with a top mount that this is the most sturdy and utilitarian of the 3 mounting options. The only thing that I found really difficult was actually utilizing the ball and catch system after mounting it in this style. Like, it's really good in theory, but once you screw the PCB into the top, you can no longer leverage the case from the keycaps to get it open. They're gonna wanna add some kind of tab or cut some divot in to pry the case and the PCB off together on future designs. Let me know in the comments if you have a better way to get it off, but that's kind of where we're at right now. In the end, it's truly just a pick your poison, with the O-rings mounted to the PCB, the gel pads mounted to the plate, or the plate screwed into the top case. My personal favorite is the silica pads. So surprisingly enough, this LCD is extremely in-depth. It's likely one of the more fleshed out LCD screens with menu system that I've seen myself. So currently it's not 100% translated into English, but from what I can understand and figure out via icons, this menu is pretty well built out. Oh my god, here it is here. The setting to switch to the language. Okay, now we're talking. There's quite a lot to unpack here. There's also a driver program that you can use to change your GIFs and more, which is a .exe, so my guess is it's for Windows. But even so, you can at least use this keyboard in both Windows and Mac mode. The overall design is rather simple and standard for what you expect from a budget aluminum keyboard externally. But the internals and the screen are the real highlight. The blue color is very, very saturated. If I had to describe further than what you can see on this video, I'd say it kind of looks similar to the blue popsicles you get in that big multi-pack when you come home from school. But when I compare it to blue anno I've seen on recent blue boards, I've never seen this color before. I'm super glad that it comes with keycaps that already match it perfectly. And speaking of keycaps, they're actually pretty solid. They've got great quality double shotting and the words are crisp and clear. So there's PCB foam, plate foam, and a PE sheet, I believe. I want to remove them and I think it's kind of like a one-way street because since I started to pull it off, it pretty much ripped right away. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave that alone since I actually like the sound profile how it is. Creamy ThicThock. Yeah, remind me to never say that again. Anyway, the switches included are called the EF Dopamine Blue Linear switches. They're not clicky in case you're used to typing on Cherry. They're actually made by Gateron, but EF stands for Everfree, which is kind of branded right on top of them. So here's the stats and specs on these, but they're a pretty standard linear switch and I've got nothing bad to say about them. They're dual springs and they're kind of on the lighter side, but they're pre-lubed, so yeah. This board just keeps on getting better, I swear. It also includes the magnetic connectors that we've seen in a couple of the latest boards to be released from different companies over the last month or year, you know. But in this implementation, they've chose to kind of leave it attached to the flexible cable in order to reduce resonance. But come on, we got to keep those prices down, am I right? All that being said, let's hear how it sounds. These are higher pitched. Honestly, this board with these in them, so good. Like I like it. It's closer to clackier than ThicThock. It sounds very balanced with the foam in it too. That's dope. After thinking back to what I've said so far, it may seem like I'm being a little bit critical here, but I'm actually not. You've got to remember that this is an $89 keyboard and you're getting almost all of the latest features. I think it executes them well enough, but it's a budget keyboard at the end of the day. I just want the Chilkey team to have some real world feedback and let you guys know ahead of time. And it's pretty clear to see that this board is looking pretty good. If I wanted a brand new Prebuild, there's no question I'd grab one of these super fast. And it sounds just as good as any board I've heard in the full foam PE sheet type of build setup. The ND75 by Chilkey is actually available right now. If you're interested, be sure to check out the link via my description down below. And I've got to say, I'm really excited about the upcoming keyboards dropping this year. It's really pretty insane to think about how fast things are progressing in such a short amount of time. Let me know what you think down in the comments and leave an emoji of your choice if you made it this far. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Peace.